Good morning, Kingdom Builders. Welcome to day 20 of our 30-day challenge in the art of allowing. And this challenge, if you're just joining us for the first time, is about allowing life to just flow. Some people call it submitting, some people call it surrender. But this challenge is all about submitting to the flow of life. Whatever God presents to you, just allowing it. And today I want to talk about allowing the low energy moments. This morning I woke up and I had what most people describe as low energy. And my first instinct was to fix it, was to fight it. How do I get out of this state? Think positive, get back into a better mood, force myself into a higher state. But then I realized, something that came with this challenge. The art of allowing is not just about allowing those quote unquote positive feelings, the peace, the joy, but it's also about allowing the moments that we label as negative. Because sometimes those things are trying to tell us something bigger. Maybe they're warnings. And if we treat them like a messenger, we'll understand that it's not something we have to fight, but just something we have to bear witness to. And we've been trained in society to suppress those feelings. Even as a child, and I'm guilty of this. I tell my kids sometimes, stop crying, get over it, man up, stay positive, be positive. And we learn to hide what we feel inside instead of learning how to process it. But the thing about suppression is it's almost like sweeping something under the rug. It's still there. And if you don't treat it over time, it develops into something else, especially when you're not aware of it consciously. And so something like anger, when you suppress it, it can evolve and grow into bitterness, even grief or fear. Over time, when you suppress it, it goes into that anxiety mode. And I've seen people who are tired and they just push through. And eventually that exhaustion, that tiredness, it becomes burnout. The energy doesn't disappear. It just moves around. And what we've learned in these last 20 days is life is it's just moving on with or without us. And it flows like water. And we know that when water becomes trapped, it becomes stagnant. And it's the same is true for our emotions. The negative emotions, the positive emotions, they go, they come, they're just different states. And how would you even know what a negative emotion is unless you felt a positive emotion? And I think that those feelings, they were designed to move through us, not become us. And identifying with those feelings, letting them become you, such as, when you feel tired, saying you are tired, two different things. A feeling is a temporary state. But when you say I am tired, it's almost like an identity. Being discouraged versus feeling discouraged, feeling low energy versus being a low energy person. And one thing I've learned is I'm not the feeling. I'm not the description of the feeling. I'm the person or the awareness that's bearing witness to the feeling. And I know that might sound confusing to some people, but think about it. Think about it like the feeling is the cloud and you're the sky. The cloud is just something that is going to go eventually. And it's within the sky. Or think about it like you're the feeling is the wave and you're the ocean. The waves come and go. but the ocean always stays there. Everything comes from the ocean. And even when you look at creation, no tree is going to remain the same. They have their ups and their downs. In the wintertime, they lose their leaves. And they don't feel guilty about it. They don't apologize for winter or fall. And that's just how life is. That's just how nature is. Seasonality. But humans are the same. We have our seasons, we have our moments, but we lay judgment on ourselves. And we see this throughout Scripture. Even Jesus didn't operate in the same emotional state every day. At the weddings, we see that he celebrated, he cried when Lazarus died. He withdrew, he had moments of solitude, he slept during the storm. And his most agonizing moments when it was time to die, he said he was overwhelmed with sorrow. And he didn't suppress it, he surrendered it. And that's the difference. When we suppress those feelings, when we try to hide them, it's almost like saying it shouldn't be here. But surrender is saying it's here, but it doesn't rule me. When we submit, we're saying, hey, this is just part of my human experience. And I remember reading about some of these things in David when I was younger, reading the Psalms and the Proverbs. There were so many moments when David was low, he was discouraged, he was afraid, and he just kept it real. You know, the Psalms are not writings of a man pretending to be strong all the time, like we hear about toxic masculinity. David was writing and he was being honest, and he brought every state that he was in before God. I remember when he would say things like, "Why are you so down, oh my soul?" He didn't deny that he was low. He noticed it, he spoke to it, and then he questioned it. And most importantly, he brought it before the presence of God. And the powerful thing that he said is, I put my trust in God. My hope is in God. He didn't suppress it. He didn't make it his identity. He addressed it and he redirected it. And that's what allowing is. Allowing doesn't mean we stay low. It just means we don't fight the fact that we're having a moment. It means we can create enough space within ourselves to say, this is what I feel, but this is not who I am. And I think that's why day 20 is such an important message, because a lot of us think that we're only spiritual when we feel high and inspired. But real spiritual maturity is not only proven when we're high, but it also is revealed when we're in that low place. Can you still trust God when your energy is low? Can you still be present when you're not on high, not on level 10? Can you still believe God is in you, near you, with you when you don't feel powerful? Can you allow the moment to pass, to go by, to go through you without turning it into a season? You know, it's a moment, not a season. And a child does this naturally. We talked about being childlike. I've seen my son who has those low moments when maybe something was denied to him. He didn't like what I said to him, and he cried maybe. He had a poor attitude. It might have lasted an hour, if that. And then minutes later, he's laughing. Why is that? Because they don't build a story, a permanent story, around a temporary feeling. They let that feeling move. And as adults, we tend to trap the feeling with interpretation. We give it meaning, more meaning than it should have. Just because you feel low, you start to say things like, something is wrong with me, life is not good, I'm depressed. You feel tired and it's like, I'm failing, I'm a miserable failure. Just because you don't feel motivated, that doesn't mean you're going backwards. That doesn't mean you're not strong. What about if nothing is wrong? What about if today is just not a day to harvest? What if today is not a day to be out there? And what if low invitation is an invitation to slow down? Low energy is an invitation to slow down. What if it's an invitation to listen, to breathe, to stop forcing? What if it's an invitation to look within? As we've been taught that we got to fix everything, especially men. Everything has to have a solution. We have to be proactive. We have to fix it. But in this challenge, what we're learning is how to just surrender, submit it, witness, watch it. And the solution, even if we have to fix it, is not suppression, it's awareness. The solution is being present, allowing. So can you allow yourself to be exactly where you are today without making it mean more than what it is, without giving it a deeper meaning? Because if God is present in our highest moments, can we trust that He's also present in those low moments? Can we trust that God is with us in the times of the mountaintop and the valley? And awareness and non-resistance means acknowledging this is what is happening right now. No need to fight it, complain about it, or even wish, I wish I had high energy. Just give up the resistance. The question that I asked is, what is life asking from me right now? What do I need to do right now? What is the next small duty that I can do right now? Is it making the bed, brushing my teeth, opening the blinds? And for me, I still had to work. I still had to do things. And the next step is to execute those things with excellence. Because you can still operate from excellence without having your feelings intertwined. You can operate from a place of peace and excellence and still be in a low-level energy state. You can still do the next small thing that you got to do and have your full attention as an act of service to God. If God personally asks you to do something, even in a low energy state, you can still do it. And I think that's what we read about when it says dying to self in the Bible. There's a part of you that maybe it's the ego, but that's the part that has preferences. Maybe it prefers to lay down, prefers to be lazy or frustrated. But that part needs to die so that the other part of you, the spirit part of you, can be activated and can do the thing that you need to do. I think Paul also said it, that whatever you do it with all your heart, as if God was the one that you were doing it for. And so my next move, when I got up, I attempted to go to the gym, and I did, and it was a low energy state, but I still did what I had to do. I didn't do the workout that I normally do, but I still showed up. And so I want to encourage you guys this morning. Don't pass judgment on the state that you're in. It's going to go. This too shall pass. It's going to come and go. Just sit with it, observe it, allow it. In this challenge, one of the hardest parts of the challenge is not trying to fix everything, because that's what the busy mind, the monkey mind, is telling you. Fix it, do something. But our effort sometimes is not necessary, and sometimes it's just not enough. Knowing when effort is required and knowing when to sit back and allow God, allow the Spirit to do something, that's discernment. And sometimes nothing is wrong. Sometimes it's just a feeling that's passing through. And all that needs to be done is submit. So as we go into day 20, some of you are already halfway through day 20. Stay encouraged. Take some time to reflect. Tomorrow is going to be a rest day. And let's remember why we're doing this.